I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away, I'm illuminated, I'll make a move, start the waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the praise they wanna co-sign. Artificially intelligent way, I'm your future, past, and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a missile of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float. I don't need gravity, I just need growth. When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. I could go higher, past the stratosphere, I could catch fire. I could go hard, I don't even need to try it. Stop blowing.
Welcome everyone to the Cynthia J Show. welcome everyone again to the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. We are up and live on Friday night on a lovely weekday. Thank God it is Friday. Thank God it is Fridays. For those who are just chiming on, get on in. I am your inspirational healer, your psalmist, your birthing doula, and your podcast host, speaker of the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share with somebody on this Friday night. We are about to go on in. Yesterday, we had to postpone due to, some personal things, but that's all right though, because tonight we are on here live and ready for some good updates and current events of things that's been going on. But before we get started, how is everybody's evening? I know everybody is probably just getting home. We in different time zones. I'm over here on the side of the DMV area. For those who don't know what DMV stands for, that stands for Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area, up and down the East Coast. So if you're watching your girl live, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share so we can get that algorithm going on. And share this with some family members, because, again, you never know who doesn't know what is going on. It's been so many things going on within the past few weeks, months, and it's about to get even real crazy, guys, for all the stuff that's been going on lately. I know y'all know, for some of y'all, I don't get into the politic thing, but everybody's been talking about who to vote for, whatever else. I'm going to tell y'all this. Old school saying would be, think smarter, not harder. Use your intuition. For real. Use your intuition. Use your intelligence. Pay attention. Use wisdom. Because a lot of the devices of what is going on today, when I tell you we got some agents out there, the enemy is out there confusing people, have agendas set up to turn around and have people thinking and fighting against each other with this politicking thing. I'm going to tell y'all now, don't get caught up in all of that. Yes, we need to speak and do things. However, I'm telling you, be careful, because what is going on, if y'all really paying attention, if you really seeing what's going on, it's nothing but a setup ready to cause disaster. We already living in a world of disaster right now. Do we not see all the things that are going on around us? People are all over the place. People don't have no sense of direction when they driving. You got people coming from different places, and they scaring the crap out of people. Because I'm going to tell y'all, keep y'all sister in prayer over here. Because the other day, I was on the highway driving, and people were driving on the wrong side of the road. It was more than one car. Yes, more than one car. I'm telling you, they were driving on the wrong side of the road, and I had to hurry up and get off the road. And you know how many people were sitting up there beeping the horn at these people? Even coming out of the grocery store this morning. Walking across, leaving out of Walmart, guys. I don't even really shop in a Walmart for nothing. But leaving out of Walmart, and it was me and this other brother, and as we were walking, one car had already went by. We were in the crosswalk. This other car had to have been going about 50. And you know, when you're going through Walmart parking lot, that's like a 15, 20, 25 zone. No, he went 50, almost hit me and this brother. And the brother had to throw the shopping cart out there. Then he kicked the car. Then dude stopped, and then he sped off. So yeah, It's some dangerous times out there, guys. So please be safe out there, because people are, it's like it's something going on. I can't put my finger on it, but it is something going on, and it's some deadly stuff. I'm telling you, just be careful. But just to come up with some, some news that's going on out here again, let's give a shout out to and prayer for those who have lost loved ones, during this time. There's so much going on. And which, by the way, again, like I said, even for me, please keep in prayer for those who have kids and they're eating a school lunch. And I'm using myself as a perfect example, and my niece. I'm sharing this with you guys now. I know every state is different when it comes to the schooling and with food. Please, please, and please ask your kids every day what they are eating, because there's something going on in the food. I don't know what it is. Some places the kids are getting sick. They're trying to say it's, because of the weather if you're on the East Coast, but, a little different from the Midwest and the West Coast, or wherever you are at, even if it's international. Please be mindful to ask your kids all the time what they're eating at school. Pay attention to that, because it is something going on. I saw a video actually, which was very interesting, and the kids did a live video showing how the school was feeding them spoiled food. Like, seriously, feeding them spoiled food. And this is sad, because anytime the children recognize this, you better listen to your kids. I just had an incident where our daughter and my niece had got sick that following morning after eating the food. And the one thing that got me was this. And my daughter know how I am about eating pork, but they was feeding. I've never known, even me growing up in school. Please, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Who feeds a biscuit, ham, and cheese for breakfast? I mean, I could be a little different from where I'm from. I grew up half my life in the country and a city, but still, I've never known them to do that. And again, that's what they're feeding them: juice cups. Nothing natural, what we grew up on. We used to get fresh squeezed orange juice, real breakfast food that was cooked from scratch. But yes, pay attention what your kids are eating, because it's something that's in the food making them sick. They're doing something to our food in the schools. They're doing something in our food, nationally. So we've heard this plenty of times by others around us to be mindful of a lot of things that are going on with school food. So please pay attention to your children, ask them questions, because it is something going on with the food. I'm telling you. This is another good thing. This right here, guys, I'm gonna read this article for y'all. This article is coming from Fox News. Know y'all probably my light little bright, but Fox News. This is what they're doing here in America. They are turning plastic into food. Now, this article was spoken a while back, about a couple years ago. For those who wonder what I'm drinking, that's good old beet juice. For y'all probably like, ew, gross. But beet juice is good for you. But yeah, so they're in the process of finalizing this. Like, seriously. They are trying to take plastic and put it in a way where they can make it where we consume to eat it, to stop hunger. Can you believe that? They are trying to put it in a way with food, making it out of plastic to stop hunger. That's crazy. Excuse the noise in the background. My daughter is up here doing something she probably shouldn't be doing, but you know how kids do it, act like they're starving. Anyway, I'm going to read this article, and it's coming from New York. There are two big global problems that researchers hope to solve the same: food shortage and plastic pollution. The United Nations reports that as many as 811 million people worldwide are suffering from hunger. The UN also reports that the world produces about 4 billion tons of plastic waste every year. Now, check this out. I had came across another article, but it disappeared on me, and I wanted to share it with you guys, right? And I needed to share this because this is very important. Do you know that they're trying to to control majority of the countries now, to take away their sovereignty so that they can control the food, they can control the resources in every which way, shape, or form. Yes, that's what they're trying to do. So when you hear this automatically talk about the UN, the United Nations, that's kind of suspect to me. Because why are we going to take something and create it into food? Which they already doing that. We've seen other, TikToks and Reels and YouTube videos of them making plastic rice or coating vegetables like lettuce with plastic. And if you notice, things that are supposed to be perishable normally doesn't survive for at least between 3 to 7 days or less. This stuff, if you're buying anything that's surviving longer than 10 days, you already know something is on it and something's been coated on it. So you have to be very careful. I'm going to continue the article. So this also what it states. What we're trying to do is use microbes to make plastic and other inedible plant material and turn it into something that's nutritious. This comes from Steve Techman, an environmental microbiologist and associate professor at Michigan Technology University. The idea is to turn components of plastic into protein. Y'all hear that? To turn it into protein, and like other fats and sugars. If that sounds unpalatable to you, well, Techman said he doesn't want to eat plastic either. What we're trying to do is take the plastic and turn it into something totally different. Does that make any sense? Like, for real. Does that make any sense? For those who are just chiming in, I'm your girl, your co-host, Cynthia J, on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. But again, this is crazy. So why are we going to take something biodegradable plastic, make it out of protein? Do you know what that could do to the digestive system of a human being? There are millions of people who have digestion problems with food enough as it is. There's a lot of individuals who have IBS, a lot of individuals who have to have surgery on their digestive system and have parts of their intestines removed because of the type of foods they're making. It's bad enough that they doing a micro AI making steaks in other countries, and then you want to turn around and use the compound cells of proteins or whatever to make boneless chicken breast. And then we go to the stores, most of the products that we normally buy would be from like Purdue or whoever, and then you go to try to cut the meat, and if you notice with boneless chicken breast, the bottom of it be like kind of shredded and like it's wanted to dissolve. One day my sister asked me, she said, "Look at this. Does this look natural to you?" I said, "Girl, that's not real chicken." I said, "You know how we grew up? We grew up from the country, and we saw real boneless chicken breast. We can cut the meat off the bone ourselves from a whole chicken breast, just using quarter pieces." So that goes to show you right there how much they are doing. They try to stop us also making laws for those who are unaware of it from, producing and growing our own products. So it's very imperative that we stand our ground with this, guys. Like, seriously. Peace and love with those who just joining in. Again, I'm your girl, your co-host, Cynthia J Show, on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share so we can keep this going. But yeah, so please, let's really hold the fort down, because they're trying to kill us. And for those who don't believe that this stuff is really going on, you think this is a conspiracy thing, all I can say is this: look it up for yourself. Look it up for yourself. Look it up for yourself. Because you only know what's really going on if you look it up for yourself. You won't believe it if nobody tells you, if you don't look it up for yourself. So with that being said, please, from that to watching what your kids are eating at the public schools, try to, push this food out to your kids from home. And still at home, let's be mindful of what we're, placing out there, because some of the things we do buy can still affect our kids too. So if you're unaware of how to read the ingredients, it's always been said, if you see more than 5 ingredients on a cereal box or any, perishable item or non-perishable, then it is not for the body. So let's be mindful about that, because there are just too many things going on that is harming our bodies, and we need to survive. So again, let's be mindful of that, and just stay alert, because we are dealing with some evil times that's going on, guys. For real. Some evil times, and people are just doing some evil things. I was also trying to find this other article, but it disappeared on me. But I'll try my best to find this out. But check this out. This is one pertaining to a teacher, guys. A teacher. This is another thing. Make sure you are really observing your kids' teachers. Like, seriously. Hey, love. Thank you for chiming on in. And on Restream Live on YouTube. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. But this is a teacher accused of fracturing a student's finger. I don't know if you guys heard about this. This was this month. This article was placed. This was in Texas. An elementary school teacher has been accused of fracturing a 5-year-old student's finger, according to an arrest affidavit. Her name is Mackenzie Morrell, identified as the school teacher at Pflugerville, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, Pflugerville Elementary School, allegedly bit back the fingers of a child, resulting in fractures to the right pinky and right fingers. This is what they're saying. The incident was reported this month in September. The child name, which I'm surprised they named the child, because most of the time they don't name the child. Child name was Noah and had autism. This is what the parents said. Our son's voice wasn't heard at the time when he needed, and the father of the child spoken. It was around 10 o'clock in the morning during the fourth lunchtime, the elementary, when the court documents stated. The investigators went out to see about this claim. It also stated that Mirella said Noah kicked her in response, allegedly bent back his finger to apply pressure, fracturing his fingers. They even got it on, y'all can find this article. They're showing the fracture of the picture of his hand. Y'all can find this on Google. You can look it up. It's under, even on Fox. And check this out. He is not the only student that she has done this to. So there's been other reports. That's the crazy thing. So Noah notified the nearby teacher about the incident and the pain in his fingers. That unnamed teacher did not report the incident or take him to the nurse. So his parents were also not notified. In response to this situation, have you been able to ask the administrators, why didn't anyone call us? They responded, of course. We sat there and got no answer. The Moores, who are the parents, they established a relationship with Morrell earlier in the school year, exchanging emails, expressing things that were always just a call away. Now, what is interesting here is that they said, our son to the system, and the system failed us. And I failed my baby. So the parents feel like they failed their child, you know? But the sad thing about this is that this wasn't the only incident. And it's been documented that there were other incidents of this teacher fracturing other students, and it had not been reported before. It was put as maybe the child did something at school and didn't say anything about it, and they turned around and waited late. Maybe it happened on the bus. You know how they try to push those things off. But parents, this goes for me too, as much as it goes for you. Let's be mindful to always communicate with our kids and to stay on top of the schools and stay on top of the teachers. If your child come home with a fractured hand and they tell you who the teacher is or whatever the situation is, pay attention. I know sometimes kids may not always be truthful, but this child had autism. There should be no way, which way or form that should have had occurred. There's always a way to redirect, because, you know, I've spent my time in that field helping those with mental intellectual disability, and it can be challenging. However, if it's that challenging, please ask for help. Ask somebody to come give you a break. There's no need to turn around and break somebody's finger. Young kid at that? Are you kidding me? Come on now. Another update on the topic. This is another one dealing with Alabama execution, conviction murder in the second degree on nitrogen gas execution. This was also a day ago. As y'all also know about the brother who was executed this past Tuesday, who had proven evidence that he was not the murderer. He did not know it. And guess what? They still executed him. You know what's sad about that? How there are some individuals in positions, and you heard me say this last Thursday, that should be eliminated from those positions. Because why do we have all this technology, all type of advancement of equipments now than what we did back in the day? And it shows, proven. And then you have people confessing up that people didn't do something. You have the evidence, and you still execute an innocent man, an innocent brother. You know how many people are going out here setting people up just to be the fall guy and getting them unalived? That don't make no sense. Yeah, you're right. This execution screams white supremacy in a nutshell. It does. And people be like, oh, here we go again. And we try not to make it about that. We don't want it to be about that. But however, the truth is the truth, and you can't run from it. You can't hide from it. The truth is the truth. It is what it is. It's right in front. And there are some evil people that's just like that. And then people will say, well, what about, we can go all day, but history is still repeating itself. And as I was talking to actually one of my spiritual nieces, who I love dearly, and we had this conversation. How unfair it is, and to be young and you see it right in front of your own eyes every day. You see it in the workplace. You see it in the grocery stores. You see it, with those who have power, who are in office, who work for the court system, who works, for law enforcement, etc., etc., etc. You see it every day for those who are seeing it. And then you're seeing those who are cooning. So again, why? Why are people who are innocent being set up as the fall guy? That's why we are to make sure we be mindful in observing, keeping it 100 with those who may not have that type of, intelligent of ability to catch what's going on around them. Exactly. Out in the open. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's out in the open. And the sad thing is, these people are still getting voted in. You turn around and you had a mayor who just got put in after the other one resigned, and then turn around and decline all information, all of it, to see this brother executed. And everybody tried their best. We were circling around petitions, fighting against it. I even shared it on my platforms. Yes, I did. I shared it on my platforms. And it still hurt me to see how so many people got on this petition and helped, and they still didn't want to hear it, and it still wasn't going to stop the execution. All the way to the Supreme Court. All the way to the Supreme Court. So what does that tell you? We sit here believing in the system, right? But to be honest with you, true justice hasn't been served. True justice is not even in the system, because there's no people who actually follow real justice. And that's for real. Ain't no real people out here following justice. They're not walking in justice. They're not breathing justice. They're not living justice. They don't have the heart of justice written on their chest and on their back. When you got real people out here who crazy, doing some crazy things, is actually doing some stuff. And then you running around here executing a man who's been in jail since the 90s. Come on now. And now you seeing a lot of the news talk about the last thing that he wrote before he was taken out. He said, all praise to Allah. And you know something? I salute to that brother, because he still stood his ground. He continued to fight. He didn't stop fighting, because he know his time gonna come where when he comes, it's gonna come hard. Yes, honey. Yeah, you're right. that was the hubby. He's right. 1.5 million people try to get him out. That is a high amount. That is a high amount. 1.5. It wasn't nothing under the 100,000. 1.5. That is a lot. How does 1.5 million people try to get him out against a small group of people just sitting across those panels in those little board court case rooms, I call them? So if those many people can do that, then why we even have laws, to be honest with you? The people should be the ones up here holding it down. The people. Because in some countries, if the people don't see no progress, they shut and shop down. So why are we having this issue? Like, seriously. Why? Why are we having this issue? If we can go into other, go watch other countries shut it down, like when all Black Lives Matter thing was going on, all that crazy foolishness with how they took it, and that's a whole nother story. But still, and you saw all of the chaos going on. You saw the people coming together fighting against those who are working in the system, who are corrupted. They said enough is enough. How much more do we have to see innocent people being taken out? It is getting back how it was back in the day. So with that being said, please, brothers and sisters, this is why we need to have more community sessions with each other, those in groups. I mean, the list goes on, because this here, we can't depend on the system, and we can't depend on those sitting behind the seat of the system, because they are so corrupt. They are very corrupt, and they can still override anything you say. How your word override if so many people are petitioning, and it's in the millions, and you having it going against a small panel of people, of individuals? They even kicked out during the time when he was going through trial a black brother, because they said he didn't look appalled to the rest of them. They had an all-white jury. And again, you try not to make this about race, but the truth is the truth. Until people come together and admit what it is what it is. Admit what it is. It's just like when you go in other countries. How we Americans over here, they could be Africans over there, Germans over, whatever, Pakistanis, whatever, still. Because you calling them by different ethnic backgrounds. Well, here, it's my color. Hate to say it, but it is what it is. And no matter how much you try to sugarcoat it, it still is what it is. You can't hide from it. You can't run from it. You can't duck it. You can't close your eyes, because when you open your eyes, it's still there. So now children are going to be still continuing to grow up just like we did, from generation to generation. Just like I was talking with our daughter yesterday, and she was just talking about the assassination of Martin Luther King. And I said, well, what do you remember them telling you in school? Oh, he was assassinated, so that's how he died. I said, oh, really? They lied to us all. Then I was surprised she remembered it. She said, well, yes, you're right. They lied to us. But then I found out before then that he was still alive. I said, exactly. They unalived him when he arrived at the hospital. I said, all the truth started coming out. All the truth. See, they're trying to control us now, to keep us distracted by all these things. But little do they know, we see things happening over here. It's happening in different states, but it's still the same situations a little bit, but it's still happening. And then they turning around trying to distract us with politics. Then they turning around trying to just distract us with these wars and these plagues and these diseases and all this other stuff that's going on. But let me share something with you. Let us not be distracted by the devices that are going around, because we know what the real truth is to cover up what they really got going on. It's not about who's going to be the next president of the United States. And about any of it. It's something else bigger. It is something else bigger. Until we start to see that and know that and go find it out, we're going to continue to be blindsided by what they want us to know. Think about it. They don't even want us to be up on here on these podcast shows and these reels telling the truth. You got brothers and sisters like Vicky Dillard, Brother Rizza Islam, Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black, all of them just coming out here on these podcasts is giving some gems, letting us know what's going on. NYC Girl, Sincere to God, all of them out here. And all media is just coming out with the truths. And you know what they doing? They want to continue to block out stuff. Like even what's the other live news? What's it called? African news, something like that. They eliminated all their stuff. Like they shut all their media pages down because they was telling the truth. They was telling the truth like we are right now. Like I'm speaking to you. They don't like it when somebody like you and I get up here and start telling the truth so that people can be aware, because in everyday life, we do so much that we don't have time to get up here and try to play catch up. What they do is when we want to get up here and start looking at some real stuff, some of us get on TikTok, some of us get on Instagram, some of us get on Facebook, some of us get on all these other social media platforms, and then they bombard us with foolishness. Or I would hear people say now ratchetness. You up here trying to look at something else pop up. Then you get distracted from that to keep you from what's really going on out here, what's really need to be known. You know how many recalls they had that people don't know? Then I had recalls on lactate milk so many times that people still buying it, don't even realize it. And people been getting sick. There's so much going on. Like now that recently they just at another hospital, they had to call people to come back. I believe it was close to 300 to 400 people. I would have to look that article back up and share it with y'all. How they were going out here doing wasn't a colonoscopy. What was it? An endoscopy or something like that. And it was a possibility that 300 to 400 people might have been infected from the procedure. So what are the hospitals are doing? I mean, the list goes on, guys. The list goes on. It's like you cannot trust your life in nobody's hands but your own. Because all of them are in cahoots together. Look what's going on now with the banks. Even the banks are becoming an issue. They trying to cover up. Like the young lady, young black American lady, young girl who created her own dolls. Wells Fargo denied access to her account. Wells Fargo, for those who don't know, before Wells Fargo, it was Wachovia Bank. How many of you guys remember that? Who remember Wachovia Bank? I remember having them. And then they changed to Wells Fargo. And then when they changed the Wells Fargo, that was the worst thing they could have ever did, because I never even liked them. They were the worst. They would charge you for every little thing that you did. Every little thing. Every little thing. I got rid of them. Quick. They just as worse as Bank of America. But you have some people that still say, oh, I've been with this place for so long, I haven't had any issue, yada, yada, yada. Come on now. It might not happen to you yet, but there's no bank that can be trusted. And they stopping this little girl from doing her business, showing some inspiring things that reflect of who we are. And that's sad. That's sad. So again, we are living in times where it's just a lot of corruption, a lot of foolishness, just a lot. They don't want people to survive. They want people to rely on them. And who are them? Those corporates, those agents, those ones who are behind all of the foolishness that's going on. Yeah, the ones that's sitting at the round table. Sitting at the round table. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The ones that are sitting on the round table. They are doing this. And we still sitting here allowing them to do it. For some of us. For some of us, we still sitting here allowing them to do it. To get away with it. And it's sad. But on the next thing, this past weekend, for those who don't know, who knows about Kings Dominion Park? How many of y'all taking y'all family in the East Coast to Kings Dominion? Well, guess what? Kings Dominion last Saturday, they had a fight that broke out during their Halloween hunt. Now, I don't do all that Halloween stuff, especially at no Kings Dominion, because I just never could get into that. That's just me. Well, they had about close to 300 people in this fight. So I'm going to read this article real quick to y'all. It said multiple fights broke out at Kings Dominion on Saturday night at the park. And this happened on that Saturday, September 21st. That was not this Saturday coming, but past Saturday. 300 people, mostly teenagers and young adults. This happened around 11 p.m. when deputies were able to entirely clear the park. They said nobody was shot. There was no stabbings or anything to report. They just noticed that they had to shut down the park for a while. And they shut that park down for a minute. I haven't seen Kings Dominion had nothing bad like that in years. And I mean years, guys. Years. So it's like now you can't even go to an amusement park and enjoy with your family or anything like that no more, because somebody is always stirring up trouble. Like, seriously. It's like no matter where you go, it just cannot be a fun family time anymore. It's like you got to look over your shoulder 24/7. You don't know somebody going to, shoot out threats or anything like that. You just don't know. You thinking you going to have a family fun time, and then all of a sudden, bam, this is what happened. You can't even enjoy yourself, even if it was just you by yourself. Because people are just... Some people are just not stable anymore. Back in the day, I used to always hear people say this. Those who are sane are the ones that's insane. And those who are the ones that's insane are actually ones that's sane. While we up here thinking that some people who are locked up in these wars are crazy, they be the ones that's really more sane than we know. And then you got the insane ones really out. So with all this going on, why are so many kids out here doing some stuff like this? Like, why? It doesn't make any sense to me. 300. Who turns around and breaks out a fight like that? 300. To me, it had to be something really massive for it to be 300. Like, seriously. Another breaking news, there was a young boy, and this has hit also social media, of this young boy who, as he was being arrested, was being choked by the officer. I've been seeing this happen a lot. And this was out in Texas as well. I don't have all the information for that. I would definitely try to find a little bit more. It was kind of hard to find that. However, their family right now is going against the system in that area. And this young boy, you can tell he was young. He was no older than 14. And while they were restraining him, they were choking him as well. The other one, you can see it in the video. This is on, for those, definitely go follow, for those who are out in Texas or those who are not, follow Candace Matthews, Dr. Candace Matthews. She's on Instagram. She's also on other social media platforms, so definitely follow her. You will come across this video, Dr. Candace Matthews. You'll find her. It was sad, and the family has written a statement. This was on the 25th of this month, and they're suing the department. So you could probably find some more information through her. So definitely get out there, guys, and make sure that we are paying attention, because again, we are living in dangerous times, and it's just getting too crazy. It is getting real crazy. So in Pennsylvania, there was another situation, and I'll read this, and this happened in Pennsylvania College. For those who don't know, and for those who do know, you're about to find out now. I'm gonna read this real quick. In Pennsylvania College, not local police is investigating an apprehend racist and violent hate crime committed against a student by a now former member of his swim team, according to reports. No arrests were reported. And of Gettysburg College student involved in the incident at a men's swim team social gathering had been publicly identified, including the victim, who was only a person of color at the gathering at the time. The student is reported responsible for a racist violent, is no longer enrolled. However, they were first placed on suspension, later expelled. Upper-class teammates reportedly told the officials about the alleged incident, which occurred on the 6th, and reports about the gathering were first published. So there was a situation also with this student, and this is not the only thing. So much been going on this week, guys. Y'all just don't realize. Like, there was another incident as well. Let me get that to pull up for y'all. Bear with y'all, sister, so I can get it to you. But this was another incident that was crazy, where the N-word was carved in a student's chest. I know y'all heard about that. I know some of y'all heard about this. The N-word was carved in another student's chest. The N-word was carved in a student's chest, and this was on September 23rd, guys. September 23rd. That's the one I just read. There were all two incidents that happened in the school. Most people only heard about the first one, but there was two. And they carved the N-word in their chest. And no local officials would even investigate it. This is crazy. How is this able to go on? The video source comes from WHTM. For those who don't know, WHTM. This is in Gettysburg, again, in Pennsylvania. The story, this is actually something that was posted on September 23rd. Please make sure y'all go look that up. I'm really feeling some kind of way about it, because now you can't even feel safe for your kids to go to college, to get an education, to be into sports, because you got crazy people out here. And especially depends on the college, type of college you go into. If you go into these Ivy Leagues, you gotta be careful. No offense. I'm not saying nothing doesn't happen in any college, but on that note, you need to educate your children. I educate all my spiritual nieces and nephews on any college they go to, and I want to make sure that they are actually doing what they need to do. Pay attention to what's going on, because people are wilding. They are acting foolish and wilding like crazy. And you can't trust nothing. I'm telling you, you can't trust nothing. You don't know what's going on. It's like people are just unpredictable. People are unpredictable. So if kids are doing this in college, just imagine how grown folks are who ain't in college. They doing it on an everyday, daily basis. Come on now. everyday, daily basis. And it's sad. It's very sad. Other students don't feel comfortable. Other students don't feel comfortable. This is what this young man is saying. Another Black American student. He doesn't feel comfortable. And he's angry. You're spending all your money going to a school to get your education, to gain knowledge. And he's angry. He's upset because local law enforcement will not investigate. So now this is going to circulate all around. And it needs to. So please go up online, look this up. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, on a student at the Pennsylvania College. Look that up and share it. Share it. It needs to be heard. It's necessary. It needs to be heard. Too many innocent lives are being hurt for no apparent reason. But all you're here to do is get your education, live life, explore life, enhance who you are. And you can't even do that stepping outside your front door. You're not able to do that just to get in your vehicle and to do the best you can. You can't even go to the grocery store without actually eating real food, because you don't know if it's fake. The list goes on. I'm talking all of the things that we've been talking about tonight on this podcast, brothers and sisters. It's getting real out here. It's getting real. It's getting so real. And not just that, they even talking about another government shutdown. But who's to say? So there's so much going on. So much catching up. So much that it just makes you feel like the whole weight of the world is on you. However, stay encouraged. Start doing what you should be doing. Start going out here and learning how to ingrown home some items and foods and things like that. I don't care if you live in the city and if you got a little garden in your apartment, start on something. I don't care if you want to stay home and homeschool your kids and it's too tough and you're a single parent. Still, start on something. It's going to be hard for all of us, including me and you. But we got to, because where we are going, just imagine where we're going in the next few years from now. Heck, the way it's looking, we don't even see what's going to be in the next 5 years. The next 5 years is crucial. It's crucial. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And if you're having trouble watching me on my live, go on to YouTube under Cynthia J22, at Cynthia J22. But yeah, it's not a game. Your life, my life, our children's life, our generation, our legacy is very important. And what we're dealing with right now, it is not a game. We are in a warfare. In all angles, warfare. Warfare in the spiritual realm, warfare in the physical realm. And it is hitting us in all areas. You don't have to believe it or not, and that's cool. But I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it to you. This is your sister, Cynthia J, coming from the heart to come to you real as she can be. And if I'm not correct about something, please send it to me and share it. Maybe I'd have missed something. But what I am seeing compared to what I've seen growing up all the years I have been on this earth, it is not the same. And I'm not saying it wasn't like that back then. But I'm going to tell you this. It has gotten beyond the word worse. And that's not even the right word to even use. It makes me feel like I don't even know what word to use. So with that being said, pay attention. Don't get too distracted because, I got to get this done over here. I got to go to work over here. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to pick the kid. Take a break. Calm down. Take a break. To the single parents, to the couples that got kids who married, take a break. Just sit back for a moment, take a deep breath, and take a break. Because I'm going to tell you now, we're going to need each other. Now, do we need to be around people that they say the same but really insane. No. Pay attention to the ones that's been saying something, and now you're starting to see it's really happening. They're not crazy. They're telling the truth. They're not crazy. They are telling the truth. We think they're crazy, but they're not. You'd be very amazed. They're catching and seeing things more than we are. We're so caught up in everyday life and entertainment and want to go out and party or want to stay at home in our little microwavable box and thinking that, oh, it's not going to happen over here. Yes, it will. It's happening. You might not have seen it yet. You might not experience it yet, but it's creeping. It's creeping. For all my brothers and sisters who are on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube Live, it's creeping. It is creeping. So don't get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. And make sure you educating this knowledgeable to your family. Some family members, you're not going to be able to save them all. Because some family members, they ain't trying to budge. Some of them just got to let them be. Because if this end up like an apocalypse or something, they're going to be running to you. Help me, help me. Help me, help me. Yeah. They're going to be up there saying, help me. But all you can do is pray for them and keep it moving. Nothing else you can do but pray for them and keep it moving. Do what you need to do for you. As for you and your household. As for me and my household. And I had to say this last night. I said, as for me and my household, I'm going to serve God. And I'm going to continue to do what I need to do. And that's what I've been doing. The God in me, doing what I need to do. So when you are seeing things that are out of the ordinary and you see that things ain't just not looking right and you sense it and you feel it, listen to it. Listen. The divine spirit is warning you. The divine spirit is sending your angelic ancestors to warn you. Whatever name, whatever other religion you do or whatever, that you being warned. Even if you ain't, you being warned. There are warnings, there are signs that are there. People gonna think you crazy. That's okay. Let them think and believe that you're crazy. But I am here to tell you, pay attention. Be observant. Because it's necessary. At the same time, I'm encouraging you and your household as I am encouraging myself. Because again, do not let this strip you of your strength. Do not allow the devices that are around you throw you off your route. Don't let it throw you off your route. Don't. Stay grounded, stay firm, stand strong, know who you are and whose you are, and what your purpose is for you and your household and your family, and what you are able and capable of doing. Because their time's going to come. That time is going to come. That time is going to come. And it's coming way sooner than we know. Back then, people say, oh, it's coming sooner. No, it's way sooner. Man, it's already here. And we have not been paying attention to it. We just been, look what's going on. Look at how much chaos we've been having in the past few years. We already had a few before the pandemic. Look what has happened after the pandemic. How much more evidence do we need? How much more exposure do we need? That's something we need to ask ourselves. How much more do we need? How much more? Are you going to wait until it really hits the fan? Think about it. And for those who are on the East Coast side, yes, stay lifted and encouraged and prayed up, because like right now we're having us a little breeze over here that said Hurricane Helen is hitting this way. Yeah. Look at all the weather issues we've been having. I've been noticing a lot of flies. Have y'all noticed that? For those who are up and down the East Coast, I've been noticing a lot of bugs I ain't never even seen before. I never even grew up seeing. There's so much going on. So again, let's be mindful of what is happening around us, because again, we're living in dangerous times. Oh, I found that article, which, by the way, change the subject. The one dealing with, it was 450 endoscopy patients, and it was in Massachusetts, guys. The Massachusetts hospital may be exposed because of the procedures of HIV and hepatitis. Yes. That was the one that I was trying to find. It took me a minute to find that article, but we found it. So with that being said, again, look at what's going on. Let me backtrack. Go back and educate your kids on the school that they choose, and make sure they know the history of those schools. When I mean the history of those schools, I'm talking about know the true history. I ain't talking about, oh, they was founded by so-and-so. No, go surpass that. Try to find out why was it named. What land are they on? I mean, so much stuff that people don't know, we don't know. The surrounding areas. Just like I was talking to one of my sisters today, and I said, the street we live on is, I said, we live in this such and such address, right? But the street we live on is owned by another town. Does that make sense? But we right there. Does that make sense? It doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. So with that being said, I'm not going to hold you guys up, but I thank y'all guys for joining in tonight on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. If you guys ever have any topics to share, please share. You can follow me on my bio. If you're on Instagram, Facebook, Stream Live, you can find all my bios and my links. I'm going to click it right up on here now and give it to you. But you could also follow me on YouTube. All my information is on YouTube. You can definitely share it, but I'm up here every Thursday. We just happen to be up here on Friday because of some situation that happened yesterday, but I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm up on here. But you can follow me on linktree/CynthiaJ.gospel. That's going to connect you to all my social media platforms. It would also connect you and to share my music. Yes, your sister has music. I have music that encourages and uplifts. And not only do I do music, I'm an inspirational healer. I'm also with my amazing sister co-owner. We both are co-partners and owners of Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doula. If you're looking for a birthing doula and you're in the DMV area, definitely look us up. Don't be ashamed. You'll be able to find us under Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doula. Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doula. And our telephone number, again, if you're up over here in the DMV area on the East Coast, our telephone number to reach at is 703-347-3240. 703-347-3240. If you're looking for a birthing doula and a postpartum doula. Anyone who has lost a treasure, meaning lost birth, but postpartum, we also are there to help counsel you, heal you, teach you certain techniques that will help you to heal your womb, and to also help you spiritually and mentally heal as well. Because it's not easy. We're also there for the fathers too, because people think that it's just the mothers, but the fathers hurt too. Me being one who actually went through some traumatic things in my life with my husband and I during our loss of our first child together, we had to heal. And trust me, it wasn't easy. But I'm still here, and I'm grateful that I'm alive, so I can be up here to share my love and my testimony with you. Also, if you're looking for someone to sing at your wedding, to come and give some inspirational songs at your inspirational places, you can hit your sister up, me, your girl Cynthia J. Not only will I be able to be there to sing with you, I will also be there to be a inspirational healer, a herbalist. Some people don't be thinking that I do anything. That's why sometimes you see me up here, sometimes you don't, because I'm so busy. But you can contact me at 571-660-1756. 571-660-1756. Definitely hit me up. Please make sure, respect the hours. If your sister don't answer, just leave a message, or you can text as well. We'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm being careful. I normally don't reach out to people. So if you see any of my platforms, extra pages, me reaching out to you through messaging on the DMs. I do not do that unless you reach out to me. That I will reply. But I do not reach out to people because I'm starting to see that these hackers and scammers are stealing people's identity and making DMs and stuff. I had to go up there on my Instagram page and notice somebody was making pages of me. No, you will not steal my identity. I rebuke that and bind it. And whoever is touching on me, you will feel the wrath of my ancestors and God. So I don't play around. So with that being said, also, if you're looking to advertise any of your information, if you have a business, definitely send me an email under cynthiaj.gospel, cynthiaj.gospel, and I can definitely share your information for those who would love to advertise their business. Send your girl a flyer and we could talk, and I will share the prices with you with that. But with that being said, I love you guys. Thank y'all guys for tuning in on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. It's been a pleasure. I always enjoy y'all. I like the Friday though, but thank God it's Friday. You guys be safe and enjoy your day and enjoy the music as we getting ready to play. Peace and love. Flourish Essence, we are here for you with many things that will heal the body. Right here attached on this flyer, you see sea moss, also known as Irish moss, which holds about 92 minerals that the body needs on a daily basis. It can be consumed and it can be used on the body as an ointment in many ways, shapes, or form. So definitely contact your girl Cynthia J at 571-281-0517. Do not sleep on this Irish, also known as sea moss. It definitely has the healing that it needs. Just believe and receive.